Let's examine how a typical course section should be reported. Hopefully, this demonstration will present you the look and give you the feel of how your data should be represented in CALPADS once it's submitted through a file. So again, we're in the test version of CALPADS, and this is not authentic data. We're on the course data screen, and we're going to look at the course sections for a specific school. We are going to focus on Emerson Elementary right now. And so the state of California is the most populous state in the nation. We all know that. And with that, there are several districts and several different schools. And so I don't want to misrepresent what you're seeing here. These are typical examples. These are not strict or rigid rules that you must follow. Certainly, there's great variation in the way courses are taught to the children and curriculum is provided. And so with that, if you have a special scenario, you're always free to submit a service ticket. But what we are going to demonstrate are how courses are most often reported in CALPADS as they are provided to the students. And so we're looking at the full complement of courses at an elementary school, right? And what you see is there are several courses with the State Course Code 1000. Those are self-contained courses. And you can see the vast majority of these courses, grades K through 6, would all be reported with State Course Code 1000. And that would be if they follow the traditional model of multiple subjects being provided. There are instances where intermediate grades 5 through 8, or in elementary school 5, 6, sometimes 4, 5, and 6, what have you, do have departmentalized instruction. You can report individual subjects as departmentalized instruction. However, the majority of elementary school courses would be reported using State Course Code 1000. That does not limit you or limit your LEA to exclusively using State Course Code 1000 for elementary school. As you can see, there are several subjects like ELD instruction, English learner development, music, that have departmentalized state course codes. And so anything other than 1000 is considered a departmentalized course, right? On the second page, you can see that we have more down through kinder and 6th grade, all 1000, and then 9310 PE course, which is, again, a departmentalized course. Now, if we look at PE, and then if we look at music, these are the type of subjects that may be itinerant instruction. They may be pull in or push out instruction. A departure from previous reporting is that you're going to assign a state course code for the subject matter. The itinerant nature of the teacher or the pull in push out instruction is going to be denoted through the staff assignment. So please refer to the staff assignment module of training to learn how to report itinerant staff. But if it correctly reported, for itinerant teaching, ELD is a model that often is itinerant too in elementary school. You're going to report the course using the state course code that pertains to the type of instruction or the subject matter. And you would use the staff assignment to account for the itinerant nature of the teacher's job. If the teacher is itinerant, you do not need to enroll students into the course unless it's an ELD course. And the reason why is part of the student services, a large part, comes from the enrollment and the designation of the type of EL service provided in the course section. But for music, for PE, you don't necessarily have to enroll the students in an itinerant pull and push out class. Let's look at grade 6 and see how 2 course sections would appear after they have been submitted. So if you go over the button and you right click, you can open this window in a new tab or in a new window. And so for 2 6th grade courses, I clicked open link in new window, and I will bring those up. So we have the window, right? And we're showing you that we have the same course as identified by the local course ID, grade 6, but the course sections are distinct. So we have course section ID, grade 6 Emmer, grade 6 Emmer 2, right? So this would be the initial class, this would be the second class, just 2 different 6th grade classes. And you can see that there's a distinction between this course and the second course because this one is delivered as an independent study course online. This teacher is also providing English language services designated by the Education Service Code. Okay, now to show you the relationship, I'm going to trigger an error. As we mentioned previously, all the CRS fields must remain corresponding or the same between course sections with the same local course ID. So let's just change the CRS UC CSU approved indicator and validate. Obviously, we see that errors occurred. So let's look at them. The first one we're going to look at is the CRSE 0124, invalid UC CSU approved indicator. And so that triggered because I have a self-contained course and I've said that it met A through G requirements by saying that it was UC CSU approved. If you go to the valid code combos document, and so we'll do that now. So I'll talk you through this a little bit. First, if you're troubleshooting, always start with the error list, look up the error number, and it will instruct you, right? Having done this for quite some time, I'm familiar with the error. And so we'll go to the valid code combos document, and it's a tabbed Excel document. You see the tabs here at the bottom. These 3 dots will let me cycle through it. And for fall 2, the course group master combos tab is very important. And it will list all the courses in CALPADS. And so some of these courses are retired. So I'm going to first sort for only courses that are valid. The last academic year effective. I don't want a last academic year effective. I want only valid courses. So I click OK. And you can see how the sort changed. I went from 1,000 to 6,000 immediately. 1,000 is what we want to focus on because that's what triggered the error. And you see all these columns here, they give you information about the course. Meets UC CSU? No. So that means this state course code 1000 self-contained class does not meet UC CSU standards. Okay, that's obvious, right? So I know that's why the CRSE 0124 has triggered. Now, there are departmentalized courses that will have, if I can find one, a Y, and that means yes. And then there are those that are U. You see a lot of U's here. And what does U mean? U means undefined. That's undefined by the state. You, the LEA, have to determine whether or not it's a yes or no. Do the standards of the course meet UC CSU standards? That's not something you should be trying to determine. If that triggers an error for you and you don't have an answer, go back to your curriculum staff and ask them to define that. And so this document comes in handy. I'm just going to minimize it and prove to be useful once again. And so that's the first error, right? We know, okay, state course code 1000, self-contained courses teaching multiple subjects can't be UC-CSU. Mismatch of course attributes. And so the mismatch will also be resolved when we move this back to no, because it matches. Because all the fields CRS in the title, all the fields with CRS in the title have to correspond with every course with the same local course ID. Now, perhaps it was a different state course code, and we did want to change the UC CSU approved indicator for every course. There's either you would submit a file with every course over again, and each course would have to be updated, or you can do them one by one in CALPADS, but that requires a little bit of a workaround, a little bit of a jerry rig, right? And if you've worked in CALPADS enough, you know we jerry rig a lot of things. And that's because we are doers and we have to get this job done. And so what you would do, if you really wanted to start changing the UC CSU approved indicator, is you would temporarily change the local course ID so that they're no longer joined course section. You would validate and post, then you would go change this one as well, right? Post that, then you'd go back, change the local course ID to correspond with this course section, and you'd be done. Now, I've seen the case where there's 10 or more courses and someone's trying to work around this CRSE 0231 error. It requires a lot of work, a lot of jerry rigging, and that's when you probably want to take advantage of the full replacement nature of the course section. You'd want to wipe them all out at once and submit the data again. So that's enough of that for now. So another thing we'll look at is how would a combo class be reported? So let's open up these two course sections. So here we have a 3rd and 4th grade combo class. You can see that the local course ID is the same. So that's one course, but 2 different course sections were reported. And we know that they're 2 different course sections because they have different course sections ID. Now, this is not a requirement. They could have the same course section ID. But for this instance, we wanted them to have a different course section. And so what's important here is that each staff member was reported. Chuck E. Cheese Pizza and Ronald Hamburger have their own course section. The class ID is the same, meaning that it's the same group of students. And adding to the scenario is that they have a multiple teaching code. Now they have team teaching. If we use another document, the CALPADS code sets, we can identify what the codes mean, right? And so team teaching is 2 or more teachers providing instruction to the entire class during the session. Job sharing, code 2, is 2 or more teachers providing instruction to the class on an alternating basis. I see here that team teaching was the code. I want job sharing. And because in this scenario, and the reason why we have different course section IDs, is that one teacher's providing the humanities portion of instruction, the history, the English, or the language portion, and the other teacher's providing the math and sciences. Now, what happens? Okay, job sharing. So let's validate and post those changes. And we'll close these windows. And so we're back here on the course screen, and we have our double example, one of a 3rd, 4th grade combo class showing you have a single class can have different content, and then also that it can be team taught or job shared using the multiple teacher code, so long as the class ID and the academic term code are the same. And so one more example for this elementary school is the special education course. And so this elementary school provides special education, and you can see that we use state course code 1000. Again, it doesn't have to be state course code 1000, but for this particular, again, the state course code doesn't have to be 1000, but for this particular scenario, the students are taught multiple subjects, and this is the best descriptive code. We're denoting that it's special education by the instructional strategy code, and that is the only way to denote special education instruction. And special ed has to be reported just like any other course. All the fields required have to be populated. Does it meet standards? Are the standards taught at what specific grade level? Independent study and distance learner indicators have to be populated. If English language instruction is also provided through the special ed instruction, that has to be denoted through the education service code, so on and so forth. Special ed instruction is reported just the same as any other course. The only difference is the instructional strategy code must be 700. That is how you denote special education.